Better baptize this snake right here. 12-foot Burmese python going into grease. Nice and slow. Oh yeah. Tail off. Fried snake. Smoke. Send it to perfection. And baptize in that grease. We'll get this down south right here. Better baptize this snake right here.
See, alright, so first and foremost, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Shemi Oshai, Ba'Shem Kakadash. We say double and say apostle, and let's agree most on the rule, our teachers, our apostles, and should, and we see salutations, so they are coming to the push with no truth and sincerity, day in and day out, and constantly, in season of season, with shadow bomb. Once again, going into that video here, and this basically touching upon the video that you just saw on the screen, right, with that Jake, you know, he eating snake. Right, you know, I've seen some clips and some videos, you know, from the same guy here that deep fry these different sorts of meats, and plenty of it is like real abominable stuff, right? He has be deep frying raccoons, raccoon, snake, alligator, you know, and many other sorts of abominable stuff that they're not supposed to be eaten. You know, a Christian might see this video, right? And they might say, well, you know, the Lord said they bless all meat. Or they might say that, wow, why are you eating meat? There is something wrong to eat. But in their church, they would teach that it's okay to eat all meat, right? But we know when they go to the scriptures, there are meats that are lawful and meats that are unlawful. Meats that you're supposed to eat and meats that you're not supposed to, right? So, I want to start with the scripture here. This is the book of John, chapter 3. Verse 19. It says, and this is a condemnation that light is come into the world, and men love darkness rather than light, because the deeds were evil. For everyone that doeth evil hated the light, neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved. Right? And that is what it is, especially Jake. They love the darkness rather than light. You know, if you come to tell them about, hey, you know, you're not supposed to be eating these types of abominable meat, you know what they would say? That, hey, you know, well, the Lord said to bless all meats and eat, you know, or it's just snake, right? That's how they would answer you. Yeah, so that's how they would answer you, right? You know, making all sorts of excuses just to do some sort of wickedness, right? That is why let me jump to another scripture here. Yeah, let me go to the book of Jeremiah, right? The book of Jeremiah, chapter 4, and I'll read verse 22, right? It says, for my people is foolish, they have not known me. They are such as children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge. Yeah, and like Jake, when you watch plenty of these videos with Jake, you know they skill in doing evil. You understand? They're wise to do evil, but to do good, as the scripture says, but to do good they have no knowledge, right? You're talking about deep frying a snake, smoking it, and it's said to perfection, you know. That is it, the wise to do evil, right? But telling them about, hey, you know, that you're not supposed to be eating these abominable meats, they have no knowledge about that, right? They will make all sorts of excuses, all sorts of different, you know, they will tell you all sorts of different things, because why? They want to continue in living in sin. You know, continuing in wickedness, being abominable, right? Now let's go to the scripture. Let's go to the book of Leviticus, because again, right? You know, Christianity, you know, these other denominations, they would literally tell you that, hey, the Lord said to bless and eat, or you could eat anything. You know, that is what it is teach the congregation to do. But they would watch videos like this. Some of them would say, yo, we know, hey, that man eating snake. Way, he going to the dogs. But they just teach that, hey, bless and eat. You know, bless and eat. The Lord said to bless and eat. It's wrong. Now, before I read the Leviticus, let me just read some of the scriptures here. Sorry, some of the comments. They say, how are you cleaning before cooking? Right? So someone asking, I had 5 snake taco in Hong Kong was wild. Knowing what pythons eat and their meals, hell no, deep fried snake. That shit just ate a raccoon with rabies, right? Bro, this bro at it again, right? Bro at it again with this dang deep fried snake crap. Black people don't eat no freaking snake, not even in Africa, right? You know, all right. Let's go down a little bit. They say Florida should be feasting on these, right? So people encouraging, and you see, plenty of people in the comment boards is Jake, right? Some encouraging him to continue. It say, is he the one that be frying the chicken? I wanted to try it, but if this is him, I ain't going nowhere near that grease on a try. Because again, when it comes to people cooking, and in the Caribbean here, our parents or our grandparents used to tell us, don't go by everyone and eat because they don't know what they had previously in the pot, right? And it's a serious thing. They say, I look at snakes like fish. Anything too big probably was full of worms. I'd be fine if it was like rattlesnake or something, but not a python. F that, right? And this is make a statement on this. No, snakes are not like fish. We have fish that we can eat and fish that we can't eat. So you can't compare. There's no type of snake that, hey, when you go to the law of the Lord, that it is recommended to eat, right? So let's go to Leviticus chapter 11, right? It say, and the Lord spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying unto them, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, these are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. So these are the beasts that we can eat, right? It say, whatsoever parted the hoof and is cloven footed and chewed the cud among the beasts, that shall ye eat. So, like for example, cow, you consider beef, right? It say, nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that chew the cud, of them that divide the hoof, as the camel, because he chewed the cud but divided not the hoof. He is unclean unto you. So camel is unclean. That go back to like, there's certain of these jakes who go across in Dubai and some of these other places and they eat camel. You're not supposed to be eating that. And hey, there is an example given unto us there that, hey, as the camel, because he chewed the cud but divided not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. Right? It say, and the coney, because he chewed the cud but divided not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. Right? It say, and the hare, because he chewed the cud but divided not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. And there is something done in the Caribbean here. Jake love to eat is rabbits. They love it. You understand? They love it. And that's something you're not supposed to eat. Right? It say, and the swine, though he divide the hoof and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean unto you. And we know that is one of the meat jakes love. They love the swine. You understand? They love the swine. They love it to the extent where they might kill it for that. Right? It are jakes on the island here, they sell it as the sweetest meat you can eat. You understand? That pork, they will tell you that is the sweetest meat. And just like this man here,
Nice and slow.
Baptized in that grease. So you hear what they speak about these abominable meats. And when you tell them that, hey, you're not supposed to be eating this, and they might, I forget one of the statements that they usually say, that, so where does he then? If you do eat this, where does eat it? And nothing you can eat. And when we have, it was given unto us, and that is why I start with, the meats we could eat, because there are a lot of meats we could eat, a lot of things we could eat, but there's also a lot of stuff that we're not supposed to, and snake being one of them, pork being one of them, right? It say, jump to verse 8, it say, of their flesh ye shall not eat, and their carcass ye shall not touch, they are unclean to you. It say, these shall ye eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever had fins and scales in the waters, in the seas and in the rivers, them shall ye eat. And all that have no fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and anything that which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination to you. Example, it have a little insect. I see shrimps, for example, is one of them. You're not supposed to be eating shrimps. Plenty of these seafood boils that Jake love to consume. When you watch some of these advertisements, who do you see doing these seafood boils? No one else other than Jake. You understand? No one else other than Jake that's been these advertisements with these seafood boils. And where does having them? Shrimp, crab, octopus, squid, that is what it's having these seafood boil, things that you're not supposed to eat. But it was also given unto us the things that they could eat, things that have what? Fins, scales, right? So let me jump down a little bit, right? Because there's a lot of stuff here, let me start with, if you hear any noise in the background, we're going through a very pagan time in Trinidad here, which is called Carnival. So there's a lot of, which I live with, there's a lot of music, that will play because it's one of the main boroughs in the island here, right? So as I said, let me jump down and let me go to Leviticus chapter 11, and let me read from verse 40. It say, and he that eateth of the carcass of it shall wash his clothes and be unclean until the evening. He also that beareth the carcass of it shall wash his clothes and be unclean until the evening. It say, and every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth shall be an abomination. It shall not be eaten. Whatsoever goeth up upon the belly, snake. Upon the belly, snake. Right? An example of that is snake. And whatsoever goeth upon all four of whatsoever had more feet among all creeping things that creep upon the earth, them shall ye not eat of, for they are an abomination. So it's abomination to you to eat these things, right? And the Lord say what? He hated all abomination. Matter of fact, let me get it here. Hates it. Let me go to this is the book of Sirach, chapter 15, verse 13. It said, the Lord hated all abomination, and they that fear God love it not. So them that fear the Lord, they would hate the abominations as well. They wouldn't make excuses to say, well, go ahead and eat, or you can commit idolatry, or you can do these things. No. It said the Lord hated all abomination. He didn't love it. He said he hated it, right? And they that fear God love it not. And them that fear God, right? Them that would love the Lord, say they love the Lord and so forth, they would hate it as well. So jumping back to Leviticus 11 verse 42, and every whatsoever goeth upon the belly and whatsoever goeth upon all four, or whatsoever had more feet among all creeping things that creep upon the earth, them ye shall not eat, for they are an abomination, abomination unto you, right? So these things are abominable, and you're not supposed to be eating these things, right? But with the music coming in the background and so forth, I wouldn't want it coming too much to the video, and I'll cut the video here. I'll do a part 2 because there's some other things I want to touch upon, even in some of the comments. Even this comment that was made right here, right? So with that, once again, I give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Kakodash. We say that once a person, Elos Abrim, Musona, rule with our teachers, our person is truth. And we see salutations, so they are coming, so they pushing with no truth and sincerity. Day in and day out in the constantly in season. We say, Shalom.